When does artistic freedom meet social responsibility? Art has always pushed boundaries. Throughout history, artists have challenged traditions, questioned authority, and explored ideas that many people considered controversial. Some of the world's most celebrated artworks were once criticized, censored, or misunderstood. Because of this history, many artists strongly defend the principle of artistic freedom. The belief that creators should be free to express ideas without unnecessary restrictions. And there is great value in that principle. Without artistic freedom, many important works of art would never have existed. But freedom often raises another question. Does freedom come with responsibility? And if so, where does artistic freedom meet social responsibility? This question becomes particularly relevant in photography. Unlike many forms of art, photography frequently involves real people, real bodies, real identities, real lives. The camera does not simply create imaginary characters. It often records actual human beings who may be affected by how their images are used and interpreted. This reality introduces ethical considerations that cannot always be answered through creativity alone. Consider a photographer working on a project involving nudity. The photographer may have a sincere artistic vision. The images may explore vulnerability, identity, beauty, or the human condition. From the perspective of artistic freedom, the creator has every right to pursue those ideas. But questions still remain. How are the subjects represented? Have their interests been considered? Could the images affect them in unexpected ways in the future? Artistic freedom may permit inaction. Social responsibility asks whether additional considerations should also matter. This distinction is important. Freedom and responsibility are not necessarily opposites. In many situations, they work together. A photographer can be free to create while also choosing to act thoughtfully. A filmmaker can challenge audiences while remaining aware of potential consequences. An artist can provoke discussion without ignoring ethical concerns. Responsibility does not automatically limit creativity. Sometimes it strengthens it. The conversation becomes even more complex when audiences enter the picture. Once an artwork is released into the world, viewers begin interpreting it. Some may see empowerment, others may see exploitation. Some may celebrate the work, others may criticize it. The artist cannot fully control these reactions, nor should they. Interpretation is part of the artistic process, yet artists often influence how their work is understood through context, presentation, and communication. The choices surrounding an artwork can be almost as important as the artwork itself. The digital age has added new dimensions to this discussion. Today, images can reach global audiences within minutes. A photograph intended for a specific artistic context may later appear in entirely different environments. Viewers from different cultures, backgrounds, and belief systems may encounter the same image. As a result, photographers increasingly face questions that previous generations rarely considered. Not because artistic freedom has become less important, but because the reach and impact of images have expanded dramatically. Some people argue that artists should never concern themselves with audience reactions, that their only responsibility is to create honestly. Others argue that creators must carefully consider how their work affects society. Most real-world situations exist somewhere between these extremes. Art does not exist in a vacuum. Neither does society. They constantly influence one another. Perhaps the most useful approach is not to view freedom and responsibility as competing forces. Perhaps they are partners. Artistic freedom provides the ability to explore difficult ideas. Social responsibility encourages awareness of the people and communities affected by those explorations. One allows expression, the other encourages reflection. Together, they create space for meaningful art. In the end, there may never be a universal formula that defines exactly where artistic freedom ends and social responsibility begins. Every project is different, every context is unique, every audience brings its own perspective. But the question itself remains valuable, because asking it encourages artists to think more deeply about their work. Not only what they are free to create, but also how that creation exists within a larger human world. And perhaps the strongest art is not the art that ignores responsibility, nor the art that fears freedom, but the art that thoughtfully engages with both.